first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Wilson. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards there on the keeper at 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they have everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. And come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Winston. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 10 yards, good for the Saints, 1st down. The Saints have 1-6 now. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. As Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11. Play action now. Winston. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots late.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbinoghene. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he just throws this one away. That was a bit strange, and here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Here's Wilson to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. In motion, Hill.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So on 4th down, Cairo Santos on now for the Bears field goal. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Jameis now on first down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Third and long for Winston. Looking left sideline, it's complete. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be first and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
3 and 5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. It's certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5 and 5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3 and 6. And if that's the case, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now will be third down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On third down, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Winston steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On second and 10, Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the 16, Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And the Saints are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. Touchdown, Saints! Alvin Kamara, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together and maybe get into field goal range.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 29, Wilson. That escapes the sack. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And going deep for Hill.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 23.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock.
And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the counter, Hunt. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They go play action now. Wilson. And he wisely will throw that one away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Hunt will try going up the middle. And he'll be brought down well short of the 1st at about the 9-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely to start throwing the football. But I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And meanwhile, Winston throw complete there to Thomas. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Off the play fake, Winston. This one complete to his fullback into the backfield. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. To throw, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 10, and they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And that is caught for the 2 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. On the ground with a tight end. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So he jumped as a safety. You might know a thing or two about that from your playing days.
Well, I remember creeping up near the line of scrimmage on certain blitzes or certain coverages. Never jumped off sides, though.
Not once?
Not once. I wish I had a few times. It would have stopped some of those plays I got toasted up on.
2nd down, Winston. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 14, Saints 7. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run. On play action. Winston sliding out of the pocket. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Austin Hooper, 47 yards. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. Hit something good. And an important one that is as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Wilson. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when the quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leap behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
The Bears on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. One of those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is brought in at the 21. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Brings up 2nd down.
Now Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. The pass caught by Olave. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 more there and another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Jameis to throw it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he's got room.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, right back to Hunt. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Called it no gain there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
14.
Here's Wilson. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Breida. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When we say the game's on the line, I don't think we're overstating it here. These next few plays could very well decide this one. Advantage defense there on 1st and goal as they're able to get in and force the loss on that play.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. In motion, the tight end. They'll try to run with Hunt. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Tie game, 4th quarter. You're already in the red zone, well in field goal range. You can't throw a pick there.
And you know I want to give all the credit to the defenders, right? I mean, they made a play on the ball. But bottom line, you set up the situation perfectly. You've already got the field goal in the bag. You've got to make sure you take care of the football in that situation.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the same calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Second and 7 from the 20. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Now the first throw in overtime for Winston. And his throw is going to be incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. Throwing, Winston. Hardy's got it on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. He'll get this up to about the 44.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
From the 44, Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
Winston. Oh, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. What a big-time interception that is here on the first drive of overtime. And now, Charles, they're already knocking on the door with a short field. Remember, all they need is 3 points to win this game.
And that thinking just can't limit them on offense. The playbook should still be wide open. Get a 1st down, maybe 2. Do it safely. Nice throws that your quarterback can make. Nice runs that your running backs like. But make sure you get yourself in position and let your kicker have at it.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play. Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage of game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my own coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run again with Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, are just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and hands up.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for Chicago, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Saints, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Fish came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records. Yeah, used to be on my checklist. Yeah, diamonds don't need a necklace. Yeah, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Gang time in it. Gang time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time. Run it up. 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 You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog so the day that you finally pop off, they'll see it's not just a once off. You put in time, the harvest is ready, it's ripe. I thank God for the payment. That's a solid foundation. When I finally make it, I give God all the praises. G.O.D. who conquered evil forces. I don't trust in chariots or fortresses. Yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Gang time in it. Gang time. I don't follow trends.